So many of you know by now that spring break is not going well in Miami. Spring breakers are total pieces of crap. That's my opinion. They've been told don't come to Miami this for spring break 2024. There's lots of property damage that they did in 2023, lots of anarchy, lots of chaos. Miami has put out commercials saying that they're breaking up with spring break. Don't come here. They have lots of police presence, and yet these idiots are still choosing to go there and create problems. They're like, you can't get rid of us. And a lot of these fools are not even in college. Like it just kind of like shows you where society is at this point. And these guys, they don't care about being arrested. There's such heavy police presence out right now, and they're like, they don't care. In fact, they're saying things like, oh, it makes us want to go even more. Like, I understand that the brain of young people is still not fully developed yet, but to like literally go into a pit, putting yourself into a dangerous position. Like, bro, don't mess with the cops. Like, these are the same people that start crying and hollering and screaming when they end up in these situations with police officers that could have been avoided. And then it's like you put yourself there, and you literally said, like, you went there just because you were told not to go there. Like, you feel so entitled. Like, my gosh, I just don't know what the heck is wrong with these people.
Beach is breaking up with spring break revelers this weekend, cracking down on the rowdy partiers that show up every March. CBS's Christiane Benavides is there with more on what's behind the split. Christiane?
Good evening. These are the strongest measures the city of Miami Beach has proactively taken ahead of spring break to keep people safe. So far, the measures appear to be working, but it's still early. Throughout the month of March, Miami Beach is cracking down on spring break. Years of chaos, including last year's deadly shootings, led officials to say enough is enough. The city's entire police force has hit the streets, along with some 18 other local, state, and federal agencies.
What we don't welcome is criminal activity. What we don't welcome is mayhem.
To even get to the beach, you got to go through a DUI checkpoint. All lanes of traffic are down to just one. Bag checks once you're on the ground. And access to the beach in the heart of South Beach stops at 6 p.m.
If you're in our city, we expect you to abide by the law. We expect you to respect the quality of life of our residents.
Parking prices have been raised from $30 to $100 a day. Liquor stores close at 8 p.m. and there's no outdoor seating for some restaurants on the Strip.
Very concerned.
Although there is currently no curfew on bars, David Wallach, owner of Mango's Tropical Cafe, a fixture on Ocean Drive, worries what all these measures meant to keep people away will mean for businesses.
Here on fabulous Ocean Drive, where our businesses are totally choked.
The city says it needs to do this to keep everyone safe and to drive the message home.
Hey, we need to talk.
The city launched this PSA.
We're breaking up with you.
Oh, should we not be here or something like that?
The question is, will this breakup be mutual? The city of Miami Beach is not the only municipality on high alert, Mark. Florida is expected to be the top destination for spring break this year. Governor DeSantis said those who commit crimes will, quote, pay the price.
Okay. You know what's amazing? And it's like crazy. They don't care. Like, you can see the behavior. Like, they're being told, don't come here. We don't want you. Do not come to Florida. Do not come to Miami. And it makes them feel emboldened. Like, oh, yeah, guess what? We're going to come down there. We're going to do what we want. It's like this generation of young people, they piss me off so much, Gen Z. And it's like, it's like people are like, oh, well, you weren't young once. Like, bro, yes, I'm not that old. 40 is not that old. These people are just so terrible. It's like, the boomers criticized everyone. They criticized Gen X. They criticized the millennials. Now they're criticizing the Zoomers. But here's and the boomers were just horrible people. But here's the critical thing about this generation of good for nothings, the Zoomers, Gen Z. These people, all they do is vape. All they do is is use pot. All they do is use illicit substances. All they do is try to steal and take advantage of others. It's like they have no self-control whatsoever. They're not good people. They're really, really nasty people. Really, really nasty, very, very dishonest people. That's Gen Z. Gen Z are very, very dishonest people. I don't like them. And you guys know I don't like them. You know exactly how I feel about Gen Z. But it's just so amazing where they feel so entitled. They feel so on top of the world. And they're not afraid of the cops. They are not afraid of the cops. And there's some of you in the comments like, angry, we don't have to do things like show ID. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do that. We're going to fight for our rights. Let me explain something to you. You have to be smart in this world. You don't want to show your ID if a cop asks you for ID, go ahead. But guess what? Is it really worth it? Because there's so many of you guys, you have to, if you haven't done anything wrong and you realize that they're just looking for someone who meets a description, or I don't care. If it will get rid of them, just show your damn ID and be as polite as possible, because these people have the ability to control, alt, delete you. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you a very, very interesting story. Very interesting story. I'll share this with you because it blew me away many, many years ago. So when I was in college years ago, I had a professor. This guy was like a little jerk. He used to talk a lot of crap and he used to run his mouth. He was an attorney. He was an attorney, and he would just talk about stuff with the students. But one day, a student said some stupid stuff to this guy. Said to him like, she started going on about the police and how she doesn't like them. He was a black guy. He was a black guy, and she started saying that the police can, like the police, they're always messing around and all kinds of nonsense, and how to deal with them. And he said, you be very, very polite to them. Yes, sir. No, sir. If they ask you for ID, show your ID. Do not argue with a cop. Do you know the reason why you don't argue with a cop? Because they have the legal authority to control, alt, delete you. So many of you didn't get this memo. You didn't get, I don't care. I don't care what you think. You can argue with me all you want. This is why so many of you end up getting locked up fighting over nonsense. Now, for example, if you get pulled over and they say, please pop your trunk, you say, oh, no, there's nothing to worry about in there, sir. That's the exact same thing that this professor said. You get pulled over, you say, oh, no, there's nothing you need to be concerned about in my trunk, sir. I'm going to search your car. Okay, sir, I understand that. I do not consent. And that's it. That's it. And at that point, they can do whatever they want going forward after that. You be as respectful as possible. If it comes down to showing ID, show your ID. Show your ID. Okay? Unless you're doing something illegal that you shouldn't be doing, show your ID. Listen to me. It's not worth getting in trouble. The Gen Z idiots, they're out of control. They are absolutely out of control. They're a group of very lazy, narcissistic, disrespectful, mean-spirited, downright egotistical jerks. And, nature is going to take care of them. But regardless of that, as men, we, it's not worth it. It's not worth arguing with a cop. I have like this policy. I will not argue with a cop. I am so respectful. I am so polite. I have never been arrested. I am a trusted traveler. Okay? I am a 100% trusted traveler. I can come into the country and exit the country very, very quickly. Some of you act like you don't care. Guess what? If you're a passport king and you want to move out, you want to go out of the country and come into the country very quickly, to have that trusted traveler status, you cannot have any arrest. No arrest, nothing. Okay? This country is a mess. This country is a 100% mess right now. 100% mess. So your priority should be to completely stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble. Don't get into arguments. Don't get into arguments with men. Don't get into arguments with women. Definitely do not get into arguments with law enforcement. Okay? It's not worth it. For those of you that don't care, do what you have to do. Throw away your lives. Angry, you don't have to do this. I understand. I completely understand. But understand what you're doing and the problems that you put yourself in, the positions that you put yourself in. And then you could ask yourself if it's worth it. For me, it is absolutely not worth it. It's not worth the stress. It's not worth the trouble. It's not worth anything to me. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, help get the channel to 100,000 subscribers on our journey to 2 million by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. What do you guys think about everything we discussed here today? Spring breakers are total pieces of crap. I want to know your thoughts. Let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video and share.